Yeah,
I
see,
wanted to get to this story,
yep.
before we get to like the final topic, because I saw this earlier today, and I'm surprised I didn't hear about it sooner. It says why TV and film workers just authorized one of the biggest strikes in Hollywood history. So there was over 90% of a vote for going on strike, and these workers that help give us our entertainment on TV and the movie theaters, they're not being paid well. They aren't given their basic needs. So more than 50,000 film and television workers voted to authorize a union strike this weekend, calling attention to exhausting working conditions in Hollywood and setting the stage for a massive potential shutdown of film and TV sets. They're not working. Some of those projects that Hollywood has planned, some of those TV shows that are supposed to be coming up, some of these movies that are set to be released in theaters, those are going to be delayed. So they got to come to an agreement with these workers. Are you going to increase their pay? Are you going to help them have reach their basic needs, or are you just going to risk it all and, and delay these projects and what? Just get desperate people? Good luck with that. Like here, you have an agreement of all these workers striking, and as they see these streaming services that like we have Disney now, Netflix, HBO, which is owned by Time Warner, they're making a lot of money, and it's not fair to see this ratio, this proportion of these CEOs and people at the top getting, what is it now, like thousands of times richer than the working class, when it back in the 80s was like 20 times. But yeah, this was exacerbated by the pandemic and a streaming era in which a demand for content has skyrocketed, right? They're banking in on that streaming money. So, what are your thoughts on this, guys? You think that they're gonna you think
I
that
think
they're
it's
going to,
awesome.
yeah,
Yeah,
but do you think that the people at the top, like these execs, that they're going to give the people the pay that they need?
I think that if these workers understand exactly how invaluable they are and hold out and exactly what kind of commodity that they're holding hostage, Americans love their entertainment. All you'd have to do is say, we're never making another Marvel movie again. None
I
of us
was
are
gonna
going to
say
work on a
that.
Marvel movie
Oh my
again.
god, if
And
they
it'd be
say that, I'm
like,
gonna get
there
so
would be
mad.
literally, and then what would happen is you go
Yeah,
public with that, be like, we're not working on any more Marvel movies until our corporate overlords start paying us the way
yeah.
that we want. And here's what we want: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and it's non-negotiable. If you want any more Marvel movies, you have to listen to us. So I hope they understand the leverage that they have, because Americans are addicted to their entertainment. So they do have a very large bargaining chip. It's just a matter of how resolute they are in their negotiations. If I were them, I would just say that. Like, we're just like, you forget about any future blockbusters. You guys want to make $1 billion on an Avengers Endgame movie ever
You
again?
guys were excited about Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and Thor: Love and Thunder. Well, it's gonna be delayed
Hold
because the
on.
workers aren't being paid right.
Exactly
And
right.
I would be standing with the workers. I'll be like, give us these Marvel movies that I love, by paying these people what they need. I'm not gonna be mad at the workers for striking. I'm gonna be mad at the studios for not giving them the money that they need.
Exactly right. And as long as their PR and their is correct, and they go out and make sure that everybody understands that's what they're doing, they have an immense bargaining chip to get what they need. And I hope they do it. I stand in
Hmm.
solidarity with them, but they need to understand they don't need to settle for crumbs.
Yeah,
Americans are addicted to their Marvel movies. So all you got to do is hold it hostage. And as long as you're willing to, hold out,
they can make really
they
big
can.
demands.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And this strike is coming right up against, there is an October 15th general strike planned. I know there will be, there are more general strikes, planned after that, but this is the first. This would be the first general strike in the United States in pretty much a century. They used to happen, we used to have, a stronger labor unions. We used to have a strong, socialist, communist parties in this country about 100 years ago now, and through Red Scare and McCarthyism, they slowly chipped away at that, and capitalists with all the power and money and incentive tore down labor unions little by little, and so we now see we've dropped from over 30% union participation to under 10%, and most of those are now in the public sector at this stage. So It's one of the reasons why I continue to advocate for workplace democracy, because I just don't think that you can't leave the capitalists with all that surplus, with all that power, with all the incentive, because they will slowly, whatever gains we make through labor unions, they will slowly but surely chip away at those over time. But I do support labor unions. It's at least a good stopgap for me, and I am absolutely, like Robert said, and Franco, 100% in solidarity with these striking workers. I hope that this, it happens, right in with the general strike, and I hope more folks join in. I want to see more, more striking workers from more industries. I think that another one, especially in entertainment industries, because that gets to people. When people, Americans love their entertainment, particularly in the USA, but all around the world. But Americans love their entertainment, right? And so it's like, video game industry, that all the terrible labor practices that they have in the video game industry, like
I've heard
they
horror
need to,
stories.
oh,
Yeah,
it's so
people in the
terrible,
special effects, behind the scenes with the special effects.
absolutely,
Long
even like
hours.
the QA testers and but all the developers, the designers, there's
Yeah.
this culture where they like to exploit, and this is happening in the film industry as well. Is they exploit, and it happens to other things, teachers, nurses. They exploit your passion for something, right? They know that capitalists will know that you're passionate about something, know that you care about something, and they will use that to exploit you even further. So they know that video game developers, these film crew workers, they're movie buffs themselves. They're video game enthusiasts themselves, right? Teachers care about their students, nurses care about their patients, right? So especially in the case of the teachers and stuff, and medical workers, particularly below nurses, they use that passion, that care that you have, and they use that to try to make you consider that a part of your wage, right? And so people want to like work extra hours, work longer hours to get the thing done, and they put all these kinds of, like, in the video game industry, there's this concept of crunch, and what they describe in the film industry sounds a lot like that, even though they don't have the same term for it. Some of these workers were talking about working, for 10, 15 hours, with 12, 15 hours a day with no lunch breaks, 40 days straight, no lunch breaks, no kind of, no rest breaks, having to drive, feeling intoxicated, driving home, almost going to, can harm themselves. And so, as far as if and this is one other thing I'll add, when Scarlett Johansson came out recently and, made all that, big thing about not getting the streaming revenue. One of the things that they're asking for here is bigger cut of the streaming revenue. And I think that is what she was talking about, was really just this, like, elitist. The workers that get, the actors that get a cut of the revenues from the theaters and such, they are already the top tier actors, right? They're the only ones that are getting a significant cut of that revenue. They're multimillionaires already. They don't need more money. The people that need more money are the everyday workers that are showing up, that are making this happen. And just like we found out with essential workers in the pandemic, when these workers go on strike, we're going to find out who the real essential workers are in the film industry. And it's not so much the people that we're just seeing, and the actors and the executive producers and all these sort of people. The people that really make this stuff happen on a day-to-day basis are these crew workers. And so I love what they're doing here, support it 100%, hope to see this successful, hope they get every demand met before they ever go back. And I hope that this joins forces with a larger general strike, so that we can really see some folks bend to our will, because I think that's the only way we're going to see any real policy changes in this country, because leaving it up to politicians and asking them and begging them for to do what we ask is just, it's a lost cause at this stage.
That's how it's got to be, man. Coalescing all these
Crushed it.
movements together. Yeah.
Crushed.